Welcome, my friends. Welcome to the outer fringes of reality, where fact meets speculation, where paranoia meets illumination, where madness overlaps the fragile membrane of sanity. Do not be afraid. Open your eyes and open your minds to that region that lies beyond the realm of the known, that region we call the ExoZone. I am your host, Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth. And with me is my co-host and aficionado of all things fringe, the future ruler of San Francisco, the Nerdrotic Channel's Gary Beekler. Gary, how are you this afternoon / evening / Independence Day?
I am feeling American today. Feeling very American, feeling mostly free, wearing wait, I gotta lock the camera on me here real quick. Wearing my, I'm gonna stand up, I'm gonna shock people. I have a rest of a body. There's my Captain America shirt. America, F yeah. All right. What's up, everybody? I am feeling great, man. It's a good day to do an ExoZone. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's always a great day to do an ExoZone. If only we could do it every day, live on the Coast to Coast AM time slot, which, you know, we should do instead of George Norrie.
Well, yeah, because, well, yeah. When you're interviewing somebody and he talks about an underground base, you don't follow it up with, that's neat. Yeah. He's the worst interviewer alive. I'm sorry if you like George Norrie.
Yeah.
It's freaking terrible. Just watch his show on Gaia. I subscribe to Gaia, which is woo-woo to the woo-wooest level of all time. It's got, you know, David Wilcock on it, but it's got, you know, good people on it too. So there's a good mix of stuff on there, and it's I think you can get it on Amazon Prime. Yeah, that's neat. That's what he follows up. You go, so how did it feel when you were, when your ass was probed by the alien? That must have hurt, huh? You know, I mean, that's,
I never think that I never get a sense that he believes anything. He treats everything with the same kind of distanced, professional, bland ennui or acceptance or mock, I don't know, enthusiasm, perkiness. That's what I want to say. Just mindless perkiness. That's neat. Gosh, an underground base. Fuck you. Nothing. That's his reaction to everything, dude. Everything. That's why I can't listen to him anymore.
No, even when on his segments for Ancient Aliens, they'll shoot back to him and he'll say something like stupidly always like, aliens have been visiting our planet for maybe thousands of years. Ancient alien theorists say yes. You know,
maybe thousands of years, neglecting all the scholarship that perhaps like there have been civilizations for tens of hundreds of thousands, millions of years that have been lost and buried in the strata. Talking about the Dulce base. We could go on about Grant Morrison in The Invisibles when King Mob went down there and tied it into the DMT machine elves. I mean, fuck you, man. We love this stuff. Fuck you.
Dropping the Invisibles knowledge. Look at Lord Doomka. This is why he's going to take over the earth.
Hell yes.
I'm going to be emperor of San Francisco. First thing doing. Poop is off the streets, man. Poop is off the streets. Our mayor, who got elected on that, didn't do jack squat about it. And I honestly don't even know what her name is, but whatever. But so what we have to go over today is we're going to talk a little bit about disclosure is the biggest thing going on right now, and we can go over unidentified whatever episodes we've seen. Ain't the last couple Ancient Aliens episode. Also opening the floor to the wonderful chat. CD Horde, Aberjam UK, Genius Fool, the Irrefutable, Usurped Trek, Donnie Pearson, Disabled Llama, Bradley Funtner, D Artist Jewelry, Tube Socks 000, Mark C. I see the great Mark C in our audience. Thor Draco, T Stoney, Cosmic Confusion, which is a state I am in all the time. Chris Persia and his wrench. Thank you for being here. You guys are brilliant spending your 4th of July with us. Let's be grateful. I know people want to take down Betsy Ross's flag And what just happened? Didn't somebody get oh, it doesn't even matter. It's stupid. It's stupid. I'm grateful that I live in a country that allows me to do this.
Yes.
And we just maybe focus on gratitude. No civilization is built with rainbows and fucking unicorns. Okay. All civilizations are built on the blood and sweat of people who suffered. And we just got to make sure we don't repeat that as we move on. We learn from it. But if we erase all the history, we're not going to learn from anything. And even Disney's erasing their recent history with Toy Story, taking out that casting couch thing, which I don't, whatever. It's just an example of taking out the crows from that one movie. It's stuff like that that's gonna bite us in the ass at the end, and it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to. I was agreeing with you.
Yeah, totally, and it does go into ExoZone stuff because we have disinformation, we have history being erased. History is only written by the victors, as we know. So we're not getting the real story. And what we try to get to the bottom of here is we try to have a conversation about what that real story is. We're not presenting anything as fact. It's just a conversation between friends, considering the improbable, impossible, or very unlikely, or maybe stuff we just don't understand yet. So there you go. And I say that to YouTube, who demonetized this prior to our
They did already.
They did, but it's okay. It's okay, man. I'm here talking to you guys. That's all I care about right now. This is great. I am so happy we're doing ExoZone today.
Yes. I tell you, that thing with the stupid casting couch thing is just pathetic. It's like, they're trying to basically make out like human nature is no longer permitted. It's just human nature that where there is a power, there is abuse. It's just the way it is. It's going to be that way. Pound Me Too or any kind of movement like that is not going to curb the savage passions of humanity. It will just mean that people will think twice about this kind of thing, but abuses will happen. It's like the Tao Te Ching says, I believe it was, or maybe the I Ching. Yeah, Lao Tzu basically said that those who believe that you can have good rule without misrule do not understand the nature of the universe. And trying to legislate it out, trying to pressure it out, it's just sweeping it under the rug and making it more intense, where at least in comedy you can air these kinds of things and kind of, it's like a safety vent. The thing about totalitarian regimes, Gary, and the thing about things like The Handmaid's Tale, for example, those kinds of societies do not have senses of humor. And that's what makes them so crushing and appalling in the end.
Yes. And who was it? Dave Cullen just did a review of Equilibrium. And, there's certain movies that are almost going to become required viewing. If people are not going to read 1984, then you need to watch Equilibrium. You need to watch Brazil to some extent. You need to watch Demolition Man. And these are supposed to be parodies and sci-fi, but and sci-fi, it's really not anymore. And what's happening to us right now is very 1984, but it's under the guise of inclusivity and including voices, which nobody wants to silence any voices, by the way. Nobody. By the way, I need to address this because I had no idea. That tells you, somebody asked me if I put my action figures up after the earthquake. I'm like, what earthquake? There's a big one. There was a big one in Ridgecrest. Now that's damn near in Death Valley. So I don't know. They probably felt it pretty hard in LA. Didn't feel a thing. Didn't feel a damn thing. But it's also a good 400 miles away from me. So, but it's 6.4. That's a decent earthquake. And I've driven through Ridgecrest quite a bit on the way to, that's how I get to Vegas. Cause I cut through Bakersfield and stuff. I'm looking at the map right now. So anybody in LA, guys, I hope you guys are all right. 6.4, it says.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Expecting another one that's at least 5 soon.
Very soon, and I might feel it. But the last one I felt that was hardcore was Napa. If you guys remember the big Napa one that happened a few years ago, that one shook the hell out of my house. And my friend Derek Robertson, who you guys know is the artist, his house was trashed, and he sent me pictures. And I'd never really seen. I've lived in California all my life, but I've always felt like little earthquakes, nothing major. That was the hardest one I felt. And he showed me a picture of his room. All his hot toys, like bitchin' hot toys, by the way, were all piled almost neatly in the middle of the room. Like the house shook, and it was like, yeah. And everything got to get the camera. Yeah. There was like a nice little neat pile of hot toys and just pieces of action figures. It was heartbreaking.
God,
it was heartbreaking. Awful. We will rebuild. We will rebuild.
Jesus.
But yeah, no, seriously, if anybody was I hope everybody's okay from that one.
Yes, absolutely.
I have been in Hawkins, Indiana for the last 6 hours. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm on episode 7, and it's freaking fantastic. I can't take my eyes off it. So,
oh my God,
such an improvement.
I haven't had a chance today. I'll have to probably do it tomorrow, maybe, or something.
There's little, I mean, like, because I notice things now, there's little man bad, like little scenes in it, but honestly, it's kind of like, real quick, it's over, it's done. Most of it, in my opinion, anyway, again, I'm on episode 7, massive improvement on season 2, which I just was okay with, and I'm loving it. I think it's great. So,
well, good. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely, no spoilers. I'm just telling you, it's really good. Really, really good. Go watch it when you're done watching us. I had completely forgot it was on today, and somebody tweeted in our one of our many DM things like, "Hey, you watching this?" I'm all, skipped the gym this morning and everything, man. I just been sitting here watching it. But then I did some research. We're going to talk about some fun things. We haven't talked about crop circles.
No.
And I'm interested to know what are your feelings on crop circles? Fake, real, some fake?
Well, some are fake for sure.
Yep.
I mean, in this recent rash of French crop circles, you had that really annoying geometry teacher saying that to teach her class geometry, they went and faked a goddamn crop circle. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not saying anything. The question is, are there real crop circles? And there are absolutely real crop circles. Absolutely. And they're quite distinct from the faked ones, with the boards and everything. Look, I mean, in real crop circles, Gary, they are interwoven, these stalks, in a bizarre pattern. And not only that, but they are bent. They are not broken. They are not pressed down. They are almost like melted. They are the stalks themselves are kind of altered in a very specific way, from my understanding, that certainly just pressing them down with boards does not accomplish. So, yeah, I mean, like the jellyfish one, I'm sure is probably fake. That alien portrait is outstanding, but it's almost certainly fake. The Mothman. But there are some that are genuine, and in my opinion, and it begs the question: what are they trying to communicate?
Yeah, and the fake ones muddy the waters. But I'm going to bring one up here that I don't think anybody could have faked. I mean, like, maybe they could, but this is the one that ended up. It wasn't a crop circle. It was it's some Indian symbol, right? But it was dug. It's 13 miles wide. It was massive. Okay, so it was in 1990. It was in Oregon. Yes, Oregon desert crop circle. And maybe but there's the people who found it were 2, I guess, Air Force guys or 2 military pilots. Flown over it before, and didn't see it before, and it is goddamn huge. So here, I'm gonna show you a picture of it. You can't find it now. I've tried to find. I've pinpointed the location, at well, because it was 20 something years ago and it must have just eroded. But I pinpointed the location on Google Maps. Yeah, this thing is, and it's a gigantic Sri Yantra carved in dry lake. I mean, I guess they could have had time, but they had to dig into a dry lake for miles, and it's crazy. I mean,
God. Wow. 1990.
yeah. And that one, and there is a YouTube video on it. It's an old news video. And I went to some crop circles in when I was in the UK. So I went there, and the crop circles start showing up, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, UK friends, in the summer, I believe, late summer. I was there in September. And yeah, please, no spoilers for Stranger Things, please, in the chat. You've been warned. Yeah, so I went there in September, and it was hard to see them. So we took a bus tour, and there's a crop circle tour you can take, and you go out to them, and they're weird. They're weird. And I don't know if I was standing in one that was man-made or not. I can't answer that or not, but it was definitely what you were talking about. They were folded over, everything. It was, and even standing with them, I mean, I'm sure I know people have made these before, but I was like, God damn, it was crazy. And I had no idea what it looked like or how intricate it was. It was just freaking huge. I just remember it being huge. Yeah. I'm fascinated by him because I think it could be even like a hitchhiker thing. Maybe you might want to consider aliens might have a sense of humor. You know, we always just assume aliens don't have a sense of humor, and they might be, you know, in Hitchhiker, there's a teaser. They always find some unsuspecting farmer and put some antennas on their head and make meat noises, you know, somebody that you know, nobody's ever going to believe. That could be it. Or it could be they are trying to get us a message. The message I never believe are the one like, you're destroying the earth and you need to do better and feed the children and stuff. I you know, they could just tell us that if they want. I don't think there's going to be some cryptic message about that. But you might want to think the whole as above, so below. So let's consider that there's alien races. There's multiple alien races. And they might be in competition with each other. They might not care about us. There might be some prime directive out there and some people are cheating on it. You know, we don't know. Why not?
It might be like, you know, like they have a pact with the Organians that whichever race can more effectively develop the earth inherits it. You know, it's like the Klingons and Star Trek and the Federation, you know, because Organia, you know, imposed that treaty over the Federation and the Klingon Empire, and there were disputed planets, and Sherman's planet in Trouble with Tribbles was one of the disputed planets, and that's why they sabotaged the grain. But I digress. The whole point is that you know, we don't know, or it may just be smart assholes, and you know, that got their kids the Earth for a Christmas present, and it's basically their equivalent of a spirograph. You know.
Oh my God!
It's like they can make little spirograph or light bright, making things with light.
You just made up a Twilight Zone. See, while they're too busy making white man bad Twilight Zones, you just made one up right there. The Earth is a spoiled rich kid's toy.
Yes. And a spirograph. He's using the crop circles as spirographs, and he dresses up as Bigfoot and causes all sorts of havoc. And you know, he's just his Chewbacca jammies, his homemade Chewbacca jammies that doesn't look at all like Chewbacca, but hey, he's a fan, you know. They don't have Chewbacca costume shops on Alpha Centauri, so you know, he did the best he could, you know, homemade Bigfoot, Chewbacca. He basically thinks it's Chewbacca, and that's why it showed up before Star Wars, is because he has a perception that goes beyond linear time.
Back in the days when small furry creatures from Alpha Centauri were real small furry creatures from Alpha Centauri.
That's right. They had long beards and made moonshine out in the woods.
Right.
And they scared people. Stay away from them stills. They're powered by aliens, I tell you. Ding.
That's right. My butt hurt the next morning. Gilbert, 10 pounds. Hail Doomcock. Praise Gary. Salute the mods. Greetings to the chat. And as always, rejoice. It's the ExoZone. Happy Independence Day from here in the UK. Hey. Thanks for you know, the war and everything, and trying to take us back a couple of times and totally just screwing over Canada. But that, I mean, it's okay. It's all is forgiven. See, time heals all wounds. And now I love most of your television from the early 2000s and the 80s and the 60s, and a lot of your music.
Oh God, yeah. Oh my God, the British invasion, the new wave of the 80s, which had, you know, I mean, the UK was producing, and Germany to some extent were producing some of the best pop hits in the world in the 80s. You know, Der Kommissar. Who can forget Der Kommissar, for fuck's sake?
And we will play some Kraftwerk now. And
yes. 99 Luftballon. Da, 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 da. Yeah.
I was talking about that song to my kid, and I was explaining to him what it was like to be a adolescent and a teenager in the early 80s, when you know, and I was like, yeah, you know, I never thought about it that much. But I remember having like my nuclear war nightmares, and I'm sure a lot of kids my age did, because the news was every day, you know, are we going to be at DEF CON this and DEF CON that and blah, blah, blah. And then the Korean airliner that got shot down that almost set off World War III. You know, yeah, it was kind of a freaky time. They were singing songs about it all the time. Yeah, it's just something I never really thought about it. Maybe it's a generation with kind of a minor PTSD or not. But
yeah, possibly shell-shocked and stuff. Speaking of which, a great show about that from the German point of view is a show called Deutschland 82. If you haven't seen it, Gary, you ought to track it down. Deutschland 82, a great show.
I have not even heard of it. I will check it out for sure.
Oh man, it's great. East Germany sends a agent over to West Germany to infiltrate, and winds up basically getting enmeshed in a situation that may lead to World War III. Really good spy show. Very good.
Silhouetted Animator for $10. Thoughts on Sandman TV show news. Also, Young Justice went full woke. It made Halo genderqueer for no reason and had a normal human girl kick an extremely powerful meta in the nards. Everything. It's happening to absolutely everything now.
Yep.
Now, well, they're gonna lose half their audience. What did I just see? I found there was a EVS was going over a Mad Magazine article, and he was reading how, you know, it's being closed down and everything, and he skipped the most important paragraph of that article. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, go back, EVS, where they said somebody from the Access Media actually said that Mad went too political to one side and lost and alienated half of their audience. And I think that is the first time I've ever seen the Access Media actually acknowledge that. And I'll bring it up. We'll bring it up in a second. Yeah, but that's it was there. It was in a comicbook.com article, and he passed the paragraph. I'm like, dude, go back. But
it happens, you know.
It does. No, you're doing a live stream. It's hard to freaking catch everything.
Sure, absolutely.
Here we go. It is right here. Did they go political? Okay, 2017 reorganized the subsequent 2018 reboot. Both struggled while finding an identity for Mad in an increasingly satire-saturated world between websites that can deliver topical comedy in real time and fiercely divided American populace who cannot agree on what comedy is because their preferences break down along political lines, says the Access Media. Editorial team edition. Mad struggled to find the exclusive niche. While political humor seemed to work, Mad doubled down on lampooning the Trump administration, which earned some critical plays, but likely alienated conservative readers, as well as putting the magazine in direct competition with late night shows. So they acknowledged, that's an actual acknowledgement of alienating half your audience or a portion who is conservative, and acknowledging it. I thought that was a huge deal to hear from the Access Media. Now they probably just think it's dumb that you're conservative, but you know, that's the Access Media. But hearing that said out loud again, it's like hearing the Access Media admit they're the Access Media. It's like, oh, there's some acknowledgement out there that when you get political, you risk alienating people. That's why it's best not to be. Now, MAD certainly could have towed the line. They could have just, if they were, again, neutral, if they just made fun of everybody, which they didn't do apparently. Plus, it's a tired format, and it's very sad to see Mad Magazine go. But that was thanks to, I'm going to show you a picture of this guy right here. This guy is going to kill DC. Oh, did you hear that?
Whoa, what was
4th of July in San Francisco?
Ah, okay.
Oh, my poor dog. We had to give my dog some doggy Vicodin.
Oh,
yeah, poor thing. So the guy on the left right there, he's a handsome devil. He's a talented artist, a great guy, and horrible for DC. He's killing DC.
Mm-hmm.
He should not be in charge. He's terrible. Yeah, whatever's going on there. So back to the ExoZone stuff. But I thought that was interesting that it got brought up.
It is, and it's sad. I mean, MAD has a wonderful history of satire. I mean, they've always had a point of view. I mean, they've always been kind of counterculture, kind of irreverent. In the 70s, and hell, in the 50s when Harvey Kurtzman was doing the brilliant run of Mad Comics, some of the most brilliant comedic comics ever made, classics. My God, it's just lamentable that this has gone down. I haven't read them in a long time, but I've got like a collection of all the 70s ones, and they did great parodies back then, really sharp.
Yeah, I remember reading that magazine all the time in the 70s, going on road trips with the dad. Yeah, it was cool. Silhouetted animated for $5. Do you think aliens like the Greys are more civilized as a sense, or do they reveal an indulgence like humanity during the Roman or Victorian era? I think the Greys are essentially drones.
Yeah.
I think they are drones. Now, could they be sentient drones? Or I think they're more of a hive mind collective-y thing that's done what they do what they're told, or they're being controlled by something else. The look of them, for one, they have no reproductive parts. That's probably the biggest thing. So how do they reproduce? They look very made.
Yeah.
And I completely believe in the Greys. We've had too many people basically saying the same damn thing over and over again for decades on what they look like. We have emojis of them now. And you want to talk about normalized? No, I think they are most definitely. I think they are most definitely real, and I think they are drones. And I think the government knows that. I think they absolutely know that.
Yeah, I think so too. They're allegedly drones of the mantid kind of race, the kind of alien insectoids that are 7 feet tall and resemble praying mantises superficially. But that's that's been said. But yeah, they don't seem to evince any kind of passions or grand emotions that I'm aware of. They seem pretty automatic and matter of fact. So I don't think that they have. Certainly, they're not like Romans in decadence. I think they're just kind of more like Joe Friday than Caligula. That's my opinion.
I think we're way more like Caligula.
Just the facts, man. Yeah,
we're Rome right now. Tito's World for $2. Hail Doomcock, and what's his name too? Yeah.
No, what's his name? What the hell? Oh, that's the future emperor of San Francisco, for fuck's sake.
Melissa, is that you? No, just kidding.
Oh, by the way, if we are Rome, then you know what STD is?
What is STD?
Dead in circuses.
Yeah. Yes.
Just completely empty spectacle and no bread, no substance, just dead in circuses. I may do that. I may do a video.
Great analogy. That's a great analogy. Yeah, dude. Did you?
Yeah, just soulless, just dead and circuses, no bread, no nutrition. It's not even as real as the Romans out there, feeding Christians to the lions. It is just plain empty, nothing, just absolute nothing, 0 calories. It is the saccharin of entertainment.
But it's so popular.
Oh,
It's so
yeah,
popular.
yeah. I hear, and yet I see no evidence of this whatsoever.
Somebody gave me some TV ratings. I'll shoot them to you for Canada because they can't hide those. And I don't even know why I didn't think about this before. And you can see a definite ratings drop. I don't know what's good for Canada or not as far as rating numbers go, but I'll pass them on to you. Somebody was kind enough to email them to me, and I'll show you the formula you got to figure out to use. But you got to basically, you'll see the number, you add 3 zeros to it. And that's how many people watched it or watched most of the episode or something like that. I'll get it to you. Hale, Doomcock, and Gary, what do you guys think of the fast radio waves that have been picked up all of a sudden? Hopefully it's not someone using a microwave oven to warm up pizza or a Hot Pocket again. Was that what it was before? A Hot Pocket. Thank you, all out of bubble gum for $10. How embarrassing. I don't know. Those fast radio bursts, I've heard something about them. Let's take a look. And
you're not talking about like the things coming from the center of the earth or Antarctica. I mean, that's like a different, that's of particles,
that's
right? That's
particles.
Not radio waves. Yeah.
That's particles.
I don't know. I don't know about fast. I mean, how could radio waves be any faster than, I mean, what is it? Subspace, communications from Starfleet, which would have to travel faster than light in order to be at all effective.
It's the red signal that can be thousands of light years apart, but they can all see them at the same time.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm at CNN, but this is the first thing that popped it up. So take this with a grain of salt. Fast radio bursts came from galaxy 7.9 billion light years away. For the second time, a single fast radio burst has been traced to its home galaxy across the universe. Fast radio bursts are powerful and mysterious. Millisecond bursts of radio waves. Astronomers have yet to determine what causes them. Last week, the first detection of a single radio burst origin was announced. Previously, only fast repeating radio bursts have been traced to its home galaxy. A repeating burst is easier to trace than a single quick radio signal. Researchers at the California Institute of Technology Owens Valley Radio Observatory discovered the point of origin for FRB 190523. It's a galaxy similar in size to our own Milky Way galaxy. It's 7.9 billion light years away. The discovery was published on Tuesday in the Journal of Nature. And the fast radio burst was probably saying there's a giant black hole coming and it's already gone. And that galaxy is probably dead. 7.9 billion years, maybe not, but who knows? The
I don't know, man. That's really weird.
It is weird. The observatory was used to make observations over the course of 54 days before and after the event. Finding the location of the one-off FRB is challenging because it requires a radio telescope that can both discover these extremely short events and locate them with the resolving power of a mile-wide radio dish. Really? Said Vikram Ravi in a statement. Study author and assistant professor of astronomy at Caltech. Really smart guy, basically. The observatory was designed to capture such intense, quick, fast radio bursts. What's an OVRO? An OVRO, we built it's OVRO. We built
Owens Valley Radio Observatory.
Gotcha. At OVRO. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. We built a new array for a 4.5 meter. Oh, go away. I know I need to get public watching.
It's what's his name? Anderson Cooper.
Anderson Cooper. He's so dreamy. Yeah. So, and dumb. And I just lost my spot. The DSA is expected to discover and localize more than 100 fast radio bursts per year. I'm searching through here. No theories on what it was. So previously, the repeating burst came from a small galaxy full of forming stars. The signal burst announced was last week came from a massive galaxy that has low rates of star formation. And this new signal burst comes from a mellow galaxy. So are we a mellow galaxy? I'm feeling mellow, man.
Mellow yellow, quite rightly.
Quite right. The finding tells us that every galaxy, even a run-of-the-mill galaxy like our Milky Way, can generate a fast radio burst. Yeah, but like who generates it? What generates it? So they don't know, basically.
I don't know. Maybe it's Spock hit the wrong button, and it sent that fast radio burst that alerted the Romulans that they weren't dead in the water, and lured them in. And then Kirk took them out. You know, balance of terror. You know, toot, toot. Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I was looking at
He
Mark.
hit the wrong button. He was trying to fix the console. Anyway,
No, it's okay. It's okay.
everything I need to know is in Star Trek. Real Star Trek.
It basically is, or in most science fiction, but mostly Star Trek.
Yes.
Mark, I was looking at Mark C's super chat here for $5. Thanks for making my hospital stay entertaining. I'll DM you a picture if you really want to know why. I do. So yeah, are you okay? Like, what's going on? Yeah.
Actually, I think he sent me a DM earlier, but I haven't had a chance to look at it because I've been doing stuff, holiday stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, his foot. Oh, man. Jeez. Oh, man.
What the fuck?
It looks
dude?
like
Oh.
It looks like Mark C was in a production of Jesus Christ Superstar, and in that second to final number, they went wrong. Jesus.
Oh my God.
Oh, dude.
He's on
what the hell did you
good
drop
drugs
a
tonight? Yeah.
firecracker on it or something? Jesus. Yeah. Oh. I'm sorry, man. That's terrible.
Did you get flayed? I'm sorry, the mind flayer got you.
Well, it's supposed to be a mind flayer, not a foot flayer, you incompetent fuck.
Ugh. Jesus, Mark.
Damn,
well,
I hate when a mind flayer has bad eyesight.
Enjoy the morphine or whatever you're getting over there.
Oh, jeez.
Sure, it sounds great. JE, $12. Do you think the U.S. government would deliberately trigger earthquakes in rural zones to relieve pressure on the San Andreas Fault to protect LA? If we had the power, yes.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Jesus.
Because that would actually save tons and tons of lives. If we had the power to cause a mini earthquake to relieve pressure on, especially at San Andreas, which is way overdue for a big one. Yes, I don't think we have that power because that would be like Superman crazy. But who knows? Who knows?
God, that is a brilliant idea, dude. They could. I wouldn't put it past them at all. And of course, they couldn't give advance warning because then there would be lawsuits and everything else. So, they'd have to keep that really, really secret.
I'm telling you, that was the best place possible to have a 6.4 earthquake, other than maybe remote Northern California, but there's no faults up there. I mean, with a stone's throw from San Andreas Fault, like a stone's throw. And where the YouTube building is, it's on the ridge that's right next to the San Andreas Fault. Like the San Andreas Fault has caused like a ridge towards the beach in San Bruno. And that's where the YouTube building sits. It's right. You can go and have lunch. You can walk and have lunch on the San Andreas Fault right there.
I wouldn't advise it.
No, there's a freeway right on top of it. So I guess they don't care too much, but
I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is bizarre.
Feel bad, dude. Friend. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
I was not prepared for that.
That was disturbing. Sorry, man. Mark, I'm so sorry, brother.
God, I hate it when the cameras get stuck. Here, I got to turn on the
poor Mark C. Good God, what a horrible way to be spending the 4th.
Yes. There we go. I got him unstuck now.
What the hell happened?
Yeah, dude, what happened? What was that say? Gary, the chat legs. Hang on. Let me see if I can do that. I keep forgetting to do that on this channel.
What?
I got to disable. I got to make sure the links in the chat only mods.
Oh, right.
Do it. So that would be in my settings. Yeah. Hang on. Just a moment, folks. I will fix that right now. In the meantime, I'll read another super chat while I'm waiting for that to load.
Yeah, I was just tweeting him about what in God's name. That is, ugh.
Logan Michael Anti Funko Pops 299 says pop gay. Pop gay. Your pop's gay? Well, that's okay. You know, at least he
Pop gay?
was straight before he had you, and then he went gay.
Well,
So
I don't know what that even means. I know Angola gay. I don't know pop gay.
Dual male income, you know, better Christmas. You have a better Christmas. Yeah. The pink economy, man. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Hang on. I'm trying to get to my settings here.
That's all right. Yeah, dude. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
I will go over and see if I can load up.
There we go. Done. It is done. Cool. Okay, here we go. Back to the show. Sorry. Well, I mean, I just wanted to make sure you guys had access to porn while we were doing the ExoZone. You know, you might want to do something on the side while you're listening to us. You know, like instead of
well, that's that. Who knows? That may be. Never. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to joke. Never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
All American disclosure. Here we are.
The All American Disclosure. You like that title? I just
yeah.
There you go. Semper Fi, my liege. You're from your Minister of Shadows. Oh, Thor Draco, $2.
Oh yes, sir. Hail.
That's a good ministry, man. I like that.
Oh, it is.
That is cool. Illumi naughty. Illumi is so naughty. For $50. Greetings, Gary, and hail Doomcock. Loved Patriot. So thank you for the recommendation, Doomcock. Today is 16 years after my own MILAB experience while I was an airman at Wright-Patterson. I can't speak for the other encounters, but I can say that mine was 100% a deception op. So what's a MILAB? You're gonna have to break that down for me.
I don't know what that is.
But he says his was a deception op. Was it the deception op for well, you were in the military, they were trying to deceive. I mean, like that's foul. If we are, I mean, I know they've tested on stuff. Okay, here we go. MILAB are legitimate alien abductees that are kidnapped, trained, and utilized as deep black. Okay, so it's basically the government. It's supposed to look like an alien abduction, but it is a military alien abduction, and used for ops. That's freaky, man. I want to hear. Email me that story if you can. For sure. Yeah. Thank you, Illuminati, for the $50. I greatly appreciate it, and that's still one of the best screen names of all time. But yeah, I want to hear about that. Yeah, if it's a MI, I didn't even know that was the acronym for it, but I've heard of those before, and they've used those. Listen, that disinformation is. They talked about it in last Unidentified that they've used UFOs for disinformation. They've used the UFO community for disinformation. There's a guy on the circuit right now who talks about it. The thing is, though, it muddies waters in an area where the waters were muddy anyway. I mean, I don't know how you can mess it up any worse than regular ufologists have messed it up. So it's just up to each individual to decide which one you believe, and all it takes is one. It only takes one. It does, you know. I've always believed, but the Phoenix Lights were a thing that really pushed me over the edge. I'm like, something's really weird is going on, because thousands of people saw that, and the more I learned about Roswell, day after Roswell, yeah, I mean, they can muddy the waters all they want, and I don't need anybody else to believe, because I'm not trying to prove anything. I don't care.
Right.
Disclosure is definitely happening. Why? That's something we can discuss, because I don't know if you have theories on why they're doing this right now, but I think it's something we should certainly discuss, because it's interesting.
Yeah, I think it's been building for a long time. I mean, I think that they have been, dribbing and drabbing out information for a while. I don't know if there's anything significant to the actual implementation of this. I think it's been in the works for a long time, though. It's possible that either the aliens themselves are pushing things because they're starting to become more and more visible, more high profile. It may even be to the point where they're saying, "Okay, we're going to announce ourselves." Oumuamua blowing through our solar system may have basically precipitated something, because I heard that there were a lot more of them out there now, like they had kind of clustered in our solar system. So disclosure may simply be the best way to contain coming damage. Otherwise, it could also be a result of pressure on our end, that someone has information that they're just by God about to, leak, and they're trying to, they can't prevent the leak, and so they're trying to speed up and diffuse it in as bland a way as possible. I mean, I think that those are the two options that I see.
Those are brilliant, and that's why I asked you that. I'm really, really starting to lean towards the latter.
Mm-hmm.
That there's another leak coming out, and they just decided, like, hey, let's come out with the information we can control, and maybe that will muddy the waters of that other leak. And guess what? Another leak happened, a big one. And Richard Dolan's trying to go over it, and we're going to see what comes. And there's supposed to be more, and it has something to do with the paperwork of astronaut Edgar Mitchell that somehow got out. It wasn't supposed to. And what they're talking about is they're discussing notes that were written by a scientist who was privy to a conversation that was never supposed to see the light of day. Like, honestly, why do you write notes? I don't know, but they do. And there's no conversation that's private anymore, period. Right. Man, I mean, I'm getting stuff. I mean, it's not like PSYOP UFO stuff, although I'd love to get some of that insider stuff, Gary at nerdrotic.com. But I'm getting like TV stuff, and I'm paranoid about that. I'm like, we need to talk on the phone. We can't talk via email. It's like, yeah, it's weird. It's very weird. I never thought I'd be doing this a year ago, but here we are. Okay, so Sparkus Aurelius just dropped the biggest super chat I've ever received. So he gets the floor right now. Sparkus Aurelius, that is a massive amount of money. Thank you so much. It will go towards the channel. So thank you very much, and keeps the content rolling. God dang. Sparkus Aurelius for $500. I'd like to believe David Wilcock, but something is off. He has had a lot of cool stuff, but it's almost more disturbing if it's true. If any of David Wilcock's stuff is true, then we are in a lot of trouble. Here's my I don't know how you feel about David Wilcock. Here's my feeling. I liked him at first. I thought he was a good speaker. He talked about Antarctica a lot, which I liked. He talked about UFOs, I like, ancient aliens. But it seems like since Gaia got on the scene, it's almost felt like, and I'm just going to try to get into David Wilcock's mind. I could be completely off on this, but it just looks like he was trying to stay relevant when he didn't need to. He was kind of a rising star. He's on Ancient Aliens, and he's there all the time. And maybe he's just running with some people who give him bad information, because I cannot believe anything Corey Good says. It's almost cultish to me. Some of the stuff he says and how he reacts is very cultish. He tried to sue people who wanted to use the secret space program. Like just some really weird, odd stuff. Plus, talking about he's another person living in a de-aged body.
Right.
Like, dude, come on. No, that doesn't help anybody. And we certainly don't want to silence voices in the UFO community. We want to be open to everything. And if I heard that once on a single Art Bell interview, sure, why not? But he's been running on circuits, doing lectures where he's making money. Evidence, buddy. Evidence. That's all I ask for.
Yeah, he, you know, I mean, he's basically laying out this kind of new age religion kind of thing, saying that he is in direct contact with blue avians, avians, not aliens, AVIANS. Now he was on a contract with Gaia TV, and then basically he's out of there now.
Yep.
Didn't he have some claims about some kind of, he tried to claim abusive work environment and saying things against Gaia TV or something along those lines.
There was something going on behind the scenes. David Wilcock disappeared for a little while. I don't know exactly what was going on, but it also sounds like Corey Good laid claim to some of the stuff he was talking about on Gaia. And certainly if it's science fiction, he might have a case. If it's just a story he's spinning, but I don't know for sure. I honestly don't know. But yeah, something bad went down. I don't know if they got back together or not, because I didn't attend any of the David Wilcock stuff at Contact in the Desert. I tried to avoid it. And I stuck with, Richard Dolan and, not Zach, God, I'm blanking on his name, Giorgio, and Linda Moulton Howe, who's getting out there too, but I still like Linda Moulton Howe. I like her.
Yeah.
So, Eric Von Daniken. That was a brilliant lecture. Oh, I'm so glad I went to that.
Oh, really? That was so he's still out there kicking and still relevant, huh?
Still kicking. Tons of energy, funny as hell. He's such a good lecturer. That really helps. Like Richard Dolan's got, I don't know if you never know who's watching. Richard Dolan's gotten so much better because he used to be very dry, but he's gotten a lot better because he's, you see some of his personality coming out now. He could be cheeky sometimes. So I like that. I like that about Richard, and Richard's been great lately on his channel. The thing is though, the politics behind this, that's the biggest problem. Like Mike Barra, a guy I like a lot, is getting ostracized by some of these people because of his political leanings or whatever. That's what he says anyway. So I don't know. But
I don't know. I mean, didn't he also claimed to be the reincarnation of Edgar Casey at one point?
Who, David Wilcock?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he did. And while he's got a similar chin, I mean, that's undeniable. That's about it. He might be a distant relation, but I don't know.
Well, he's trying to say he's there, or allegedly. I mean, from what I'm gathering, what I've heard, I mean, I heard a lot about him, but essentially emphasizing a lot of like psychic stuff, spiritual stuff, that he's in the know, he is in direct interdimensional psychic contact with space chickens that are blue or something like that. I don't know.
Isn't the blue avians? Are they? Yeah, let's pull up.
Yeah, they're like blue humanoid chickens.
Yeah,
some kind of thing. Like Chicken Man. He's everywhere. Dun, 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 dun.
When you're threatened by a stranger, when you think your life's in danger, when you think you're going, take a licking, call for Super Chicken. Come on, how many people know correct. Super Chicken?
Super Chicken, Tom Super Chicken. Throw the bad guys for a loss, and he will bring them in alive and kicking. There is someone waiting who will hurry up and rescue you. Just call for Super Chicken.
Yes, that's right. Goddamn Super Chicken.
But he wasn't blue. I'm not blue, Fred.
Okay, that's the blue Kentucky Fried Chickens. Let's see here. Now, this is what's bad for ufology. Okay. I really believe in this stuff. I think it's absolutely the most important story of our lifetime, and our lives will change when we get that confirmation from whatever. But this, I cannot believe. For one, get a better artist. I mean, I'm just saying, okay, look like his daughter made that stuff. But listen, I don't like the everybody can say what they want, but I just choose not to believe that because it's a little too much for me, and I don't think it helps anything. As much of an op as I think Unidentified is, and it is most definitely an op. I'm not going to argue with anybody on that. I think it's helpful. I think at this point, I just want some truth. I don't expect ever to get the whole truth from the government about anything. And honestly, I don't know if I want it. I mean, let's seriously think about that. There's some stuff that's probably better. Maybe they know there's a giant asteroid that we cannot move at all that's going to, get us in 75 years. And maybe they're working on it, but
hey, maybe that's the reason. Maybe they need to accelerate their plans because the aliens have offered us a lift off of the rock. Of course, maybe they could actually take care of the asteroid. So I don't know. They could probably take care of the asteroid.
But that might cost extra though, and we couldn't afford it. So that was the extra asteroid plan. So no.
Yes, you have not enough butt dollars to pay. That is the probing is actually a compensation, a monetary system of exchange.
We're gonna need some more asses.
It's like grass for ass. Well, maybe
nobody
that came
rides
from
for free.
ancient Mesopotamia. That was from the aliens themselves. Ezekiel knew it all too well. Back to you. Antichrist line, you are live.
Sparkus Aurelius, you are now officially a producer of the ExoZone with that kind of a super chat. So I'll make sure I credit you for the rest of the ExoZones on this channel. You will get a producer credit. Thank you very, very much. I greatly appreciate that. That is a lot of coin.
It is very much.
Wow, thank you. And it's it listen, nobody has to super chat. We greatly appreciate it. It keeps the lights on around here. But you guys being with us, subscribing, hanging out, this is the best thing ever. Honestly, I have so much fun live streaming. I know I gush over it, but I look forward to it every day. And if I could do it every day, I would. But
yes, me absolutely. And I'm returning to my live streams tomorrow.
Nice.
Like at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. I will be I'm releasing a video about that Little Mermaid garbage tomorrow. And I will be talking about it. I've gone into a great deal of depth about what they're really doing with this crap. And so I'll be doing a live stream. And I'm sorry that we had to cancel the Inquisition last Sunday. But out of respect, we had to. So, but we're all getting back in the saddle, and I'm glad that we are.
Yeah, I was talking to you about this, and I'll be honest with everybody. I was like completely thrown off my game, so I wasn't feeling like doing a live stream or doing videos. I was I was not happy. It was very depressing, and as it should be, and death always does that, but and I had gone through a very similar circumstance with an employee at the salon. I think I told some of you guys a story, and it did not end well. And it was like 2 years ago, almost to the frickin' day. So it reminded me of a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, I'm glad we did that, and all hail Anna, and I hope she's doing okay.
Yeah, and we will definitely be back this Sunday.
Yes,
Sunday night, the Inquisition.
We have a lot to talk about. So we got last week and this week. So it's going to be a double dose of a lot of punishments going out. A lot.
A lot. God damn it.
And you're listen, I will divert to you on the whole Little Mermaid thing. Cause I said it on the live stream. I was talking to Mahler about it, and my attitude was like, of course they did. Duh. Of course they were going to do this. Now it doesn't make it right. And I'm not a Disney fan. So you might want to refer to somebody who's actually a fan of the work. And this is an original fairy tale by Hans Christian Andersen. And definitely watch Doomcock's video on this tomorrow when it comes out. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be honest, I voted for you to come out with it today, but I guess I got outvoted. So.
It just seemed like, it was kind of split, and it's like, well, if your audience is split, then you want to hold off.
Kurtzman says that's great. Kurtzman says that's awesome.
Oh, well, I should take advice from him because he's so fucking successful. Oh, God, yes.
Thunder Robots for $5 said, Gary, do you have to put any fingers back on the wall, or did you have to put any figures back on the wall after the Quake? And Doomcock, did your Quake machine have a successful test run?
Well, I would no comment.
No comment.
No comment.
No, the action figures stand on the wall. I'm actually in the process of my thumbs are hurt right now because I put up so many action figures that you haven't seen, that you will see soon. Lots of Star Trek action figures because they used to exist. You know, those toys
Yeah. Once upon a time.
Yeah, the toys that Alex Kurtzman said they could never get right. I've got hundreds of them, and I'm sure Doomcock in his lair has hundreds, maybe thousands of them. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got a box of the vintage Playmate figures like that first came out, like unopened. So yeah, I got a whole ton of them.
Yeah, Melissa's got those too. All mine are open. Hers are in unpunched on unpunched cards. So yeah. Oh, she's a keeper for sure. Armchair Warlord, $2. Hail Doomcock. Hail Sober Snowflame. Hail ExoZone. Hail to you, Armchair Warlord. Yes. Yeah, I guess I'm kind of a sober Snowflame. It's a recovered Snowflame. Thunder Robots, $2. Could the Men in Black be controlling all media?
I don't think so. I mean, I think that they've done such a great job of instilling a culture of ridicule and labels to anyone that was interested in UFOs that I doubt that it was. I mean, I think that the governmental agency that they answer to is in charge of everything, but not the Men in Black per se.
Yep. I mean, the government is a giant, incompetent monolith, but within that is a compartmentalized agency that it runs with ruthless efficiency. Okay. And that its only job is to confuse you. And it does it very, very well. We saw evidence of that in last Unidentified. There was a guy getting radio signals from the air base, and to get him off because they were doing test flying, and he figured out the test flights. So to muck up this guy's brain, one of the government agents gave him a computer with a bunch of gobbledygook on it and said it was the aliens, and the guy believed it. And they effed with this guy for years just to keep him off of the test flight timing or stuff. And yeah, it's horribly cruel. And but they did it. Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, we've heard that Tom DeLonge was a dupe or tool of intelligence agencies or something for a while, but now he's involved in this disclosure television show, Unidentified. And that just goes a long way towards convincing me, again, like I've said, that they are essentially the government, that Unidentified is a sponsored governmental disclosure project. And I think clearly, look, the fact that they have the people in silhouette, doing the interviews on there to protect their identity, who the fuck do they think they're going to protect them from? Nobody. I mean, that is pure theater, because all they got to do to know who this woman is find out who was stationed on the, on the ship at the time, on the Nimitz, and who was flying wingman for that pilot who didn't talk in silhouette. So it's patently absurd that there's any kind of silhouette kind of secrecy stuff, unless it's just that she doesn't want to be, recognized in public. But again, I just, the whole thing just smacks of a government operation to me.
It absolutely does. And also pay attention. And I'm sure most of you did, because you're very smart here, who they're using as a political or as a media entity, Politico. So that should tell you everything you want to ever know about Politico, that they are a government arm. They work for the government. They are official version of events. I'm forgetting the name of the project now. Somebody in the chat will give it to. It's the one where the CIA had implanted CIA members in every major newspaper.
Wow.
Yeah. So that happened, and it's still happening. So Politico is the official newspaper website of Unidentified. Well, they're also the official one for the government. Lou Elizondo quit his job as a disinformation agent to come out and do it. So what happened here is I think is disclosure was going to come out in some way, shape, or form, and they made some kind of deal to like, we'll be the ones to slowly bring it out. And maybe there was negotiations with some entity that had a bunch of information. It's like, hey, there's some information that can't get out. So let's leak some. We'll tell the public some, and listen, half the public's not going to believe it anyway. I've said this before. A freaking UFO can land on the White House lawn, but if it's a Republican president, the Democrats will not believe it, and vice versa. That's the way it's going to go in this country. So full disclosure, I don't know if, there's part of me that says it would change the world. And there's part of me that says we go, okay, whatever, kind of what we're doing now. This show is happening, and the people who don't believe this stuff still don't believe this stuff. I don't think you're changing their mind unless they get probed.
No, yeah, it's just easing into it just to make it as boring and mundane as possible, and they're doing a good job of it, frankly. And
honestly,
it's like, I mean, I admire it. I'm not saying it is a negative. I'm just saying it is kind of fact. In my opinion,
I'm glad it's happening. I'm really glad it's happening. I never thought I'd see it in my lifetime. So I'm curious to see. You could tell they're building us up. There's a narrative going on, and they tried to put a little doubt in the narrative. They're like, well, we might have, when they asked that one pilot, do we have any drones that can do this? And the guy goes, I don't want to answer that. So that was to put question. And then at the end of the episode, at the end of the episode, they went, no, we can't do that. And no, none of our stuff can do that. And if it could, listen, our military is 20 years ahead of what we know. I'm sure that was not 20 years ahead. That is 200 years ahead. And that is so far ahead. Yeah.
And there's no way that there would be any discussion of it if that was the case. They're not going to go ahead and want to disclose it to other, rival powers that might not be tumbling to the fact that they have it. I mean, they would blow their strategic advantage, and it would be absurd for them to do that if they were the authors of that technology. So I don't believe that at all.
Yeah. No. DGM Voices says $2. He says, hail, Doomcock and Gary the Fourth just got interesting. Oh, thanks, man.
Thank you,
certainly
sir.
did, because I'm talking to you, and I'm talking to you guys in the chat. So it definitely got interesting. What's the wife is binging Designated Survivor, like a show I would never watch, like only through torture would I watch a show like that. But
it's goofy. It's goofy. I watched it a little while and it was terrible. Then a character on there, I swear to God, looked like a human matchstick. It's just like she was this little woman who's like an FBI agent who's kicking ass apparently on much larger men. Like she's like a cartoon. It's like her head is about a third the size of her entire body. And just this stick with a pin on the top. That was basically her. I swear to God, check it out.
I know I'll watch. I was watching some of it. I'm like,
you know who I'm talking about then?
Exactly.
It was silly. It was
silly. Krypton was full of that. Krypton, because listen, on planet Krypton, they didn't have superpowers. They were normal humans.
Right.
But all the Zod's daughter, or is it daughter or granddaughter? Daughter was beating the crap out of like 300-pound guys, like no problem, with one punch. She was one punching them, and just like, what the hell is going on?
And by the way, the fact that Kryptonians don't have any superpowers on Krypton is a really ringing endorsement of watching Krypton. Because boy, if you want a show that's like the streets of San Francisco without San Francisco and without Michael Douglas, or Carl, what's his name? Then sure, Krypton's for you.
Carl Malden. Yeah, exactly. I mean, hey, they're going to outdo us though, because we're going to get Alfred Pennyworth. We're going to get his early days when he was an agent. That's like, oh man, that's all I want to know about Aunt May's aunt. I want a show about Aunt May's aunt. It's called Aunt May's aunt. And when she was a secret agent in Victorian England or something, I don't know. Jesus Christ, it's stupid. Almighty. Let's just get as peripheral as possible, but never show the real superhero that we'd actually want to see.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
stupid. Yeah. That's a video for another day. Brother Malachi for for $5. What an exciting day. Night Terrors and ExoZone are both live, and Creepy Little Book will air tonight. Well, that is an exciting day. What's Night Terrors?
It's a channel.
It's a channel?
It's a YouTube channel.
Let me go check them out. I might have seen them before. I don't know. My son likes the creepy pasta stuff. Night Terrors channel.
Well, but then if I know that it's phony, then I'm not interested.
Yeah, they have like 61,000 subs. Live horror stream. There we go. 4th of July live horror stream. There you go. Cool. Bill Madden hosts Night Terrors, Things to Fear. I'm gonna check that out. There you go. I just subscribed.
But it's the die.
Cool. And then Creepy Little Books later tonight. There you go. That's brilliant. Brother Malachi for $20. I know you guys love Ancient Aliens, and I do, but the Da Vinci episode made me cringe. If Leo was trained by aliens, his theories on human circulation and aerodynamics wouldn't have been more accurate. He was a genius, but got lots wrong. Yeah, I don't believe every single episode of Ancient Aliens. I think they completely stretch things and they run out of ideas and a little goofy, but then occasionally they'll have a really good episode like the last one where they went down and basically showed us all the weird deep sea aquatic life and talked to real scientists and talked about the octopus or octopi and how they're basically aliens. They can they might be the one race that could rise up and take us over because they can recode their effing DNA on the fly. So, and that's nothing else can do that. So they are truly bizarre creatures. And yeah, they get on that. And that's pretty cool. And they also found a meteorite with like salt water in it. And yeah, so they do some stuff that's really good. And then they do some like really wacky. Yeah. Da Vinci did not get stuff downloaded to him by aliens. No.
That's just absurd. And well said, Brother Malachi.
Yes.
Yeah. For example, that video that you showed me earlier, sent to me about that weird creature spotted in the waves.
Yep.
By that pier.
Secure Team did a video on it.
So. Yeah, that just to me
it looked like a big thing of trash or something.
Yeah, or it looked like something that they threw in there as a hoax, maybe even. Because the way that it moved was curiously only in sync with the waves. It never seemed to, and when it really goes up against the pilings on the pier and kind of bunches for a minute, you don't see it thrashing, and then it like kind of works its way through. And I thought that was, I don't know,
very easy to fake that stuff.
Yeah,
these days, and that's what's too bad. We gotta figure out. I don't know. It's the uncanny valley, and that can be figured out in some stuff. Like, the one thing that impressed me was the one you showed me of the UFOs making the crop circle. I mean,
right,
fake or not, man, that thing was fucking amazing. That was cool as hell. I'm like, God damn. So
yeah,
and like, to what end would you spend that much time faking something and not make any money off it? That's the one thing I think about. I mean, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just not the kind of person who wants to spend a million hours. Well, I have, but on stuff, I've spent a lot of time like reading Game of Thrones. That's not going to help me at all, but I want to make something. If I'm going to make something, I want it to be either impress people or, and put my name on it, on it for sure. Mr. Roboto, $2. Doomcock, your final thoughts on Twilight Zone 2019.
It's a pile of shit. It's a complete pile of shit. It's disrespectful to Rod Serling. It's woke as hell. It has a decidedly anti-white male bias that none seem to dare call racism. But yeah, I'm pretty much calling it racism. It's shocking. This is what passes for entertainment now on CBS. I mean, it was supposed to be an anthology series. It was supposed to be a series that told interesting stories in a literate and entertaining fashion. And they just turned it into another woke ass piece of shit tool to, I don't know. I don't think it's advancing any kind of social agenda. I think it's all just about settling the score. But, that's another thing I'll be talking about in my video I'm putting out tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to that because I'm curious, because that's what it reeks of, and nobody really talks about the consequence of this. So you are normalizing hating white guys. As a father of a little white guy,
Yeah.
I'm
Well, how
waiting
about
for
we
him.
don't hate anybody,
Yeah,
dude? How about we
exactly.
don't hate anybody? That is the ultimate vision of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Gandhi. I mean, people that have been fighting for equality and social justice. It is not a bad word. It is a bad word as currently configured, because these people are not fighting for anything. They are phonies. They are not. They don't have any guiding principles to stand up for. They're just on a certain team and they're pushing a certain agenda because it's trendy, because it virtue signals. They're not putting their ass on the line for what they believe. So yeah,
Like Martin Luther
it's
King did, and like so many others before them did.
sitting
And
in jail, getting beatings.
Mhm.
That's quite different than sitting on your ass on Twitter and ruining Star Wars just to feel sanctimonious or some shit. I don't know what the fuck they're about. I honestly don't. But
No,
it ain't
but
anything
if they
that has
keep
anything to do with actually changing the world in any better way. I know that.
No, what it's going to do is it's going to normalize that kind of behavior. And then, I'm going to someday my kid's going to come home and say somebody called him this or that, and it's just another form of racism. And
It
it's
is.
kind of behavior that can't be normalized. I spent my life teaching them to not see people like that at all, ever.
Yes.
And thankfully they are like that. And both my kids are good kids, but when you're putting this through our entertainment, and then you hear, to go all the way down the rabbit hole, I was watching Spider-Man Far From Home, and they did a Fathom event, trailer before that. And there's a Time's Up trailer. And the very beginning of it says the media is a tool to shape minds. And you just hear that said out loud. And of course, we know that's what they're trying to do, but they're not even hiding it anymore. Like this whole documentary is how we're going to shape minds, how we're doing this. And we're seeing it. We're seeing the result. If it was a message of equality, nobody would have a problem with it. But that's not what this is. That's just not what it is. But it's a safe, they feel safe behind this because it's okay. Or they think it's okay. It's not okay. And then when we bring it up, and just whatever argument, and we'll wait for your video, but whatever argument they have for the race swapping of Ariel, then it should be an argument that can be used towards anything else. All right. So, and we talked about it a bit on my live stream with Mahler, and it's amazing how it's okay for some and not the other, in the guise of fairness, which is just ridiculous.
It's just a hard topic to address and a hard video to make, because there are so many different angles to consider. It is not nearly as simple as just swapping out Ariel. I mean, it is a topic that bothered me all day yesterday, and it took me a long time, and I still haven't quite finished writing it, but it's close. And trying to address every aspect of it is mind-boggling. It's so complex, that what they're doing, and the reasons why it shouldn't be acceptable to anyone, not even SJWs. I think I've got a new angle on it, and I think it's a good one. So
I look
we'll see.
forward to it. And yeah, that'll be very interesting. So let's get to another super chat here. Thunder Robots for $5. I think the Greys are doctors from a galactic FEMA coming here because all of the radiation we released in the atmosphere. Well, I'll say this. I think they've been coming here for, I think they've been coming here for thousands, millions, whatever years. But I think it really perked up their attention when we started when we blew up the atomic bomb for the first time. I don't think there's any coincidence. That's when Roswell happened. And, right around that time frame, that 5 years, that UFOs started being seen everywhere. And it's right around when we could blow ourselves up. And they just did what did they? Oh, the recent unidentified was on the nuclear facilities, and
Right.
and that is a fascinating subject. And we're finding out more and more that pretty much every nuclear facility has a story of being buzzed multiple times, not just once, multiple times. And that's concerning. And Rendlesham, I've about Rendlesham's
Oh
like
yeah.
one of the most famous cases. It's well documented. There is an audio cassette recording of the guy doing a play-by-play of the incident. And he apparently did that with all of his investigations. And when I first heard the story of Rendlesham, we did not know what was there. We now know what was there. I don't know when this information was released. I think it was maybe 10, 15 years ago, that it had a bunch of nuclear bombs there, a bunch of tactical nukes. And that this light buzzed their storage area, their bunkers. And there's stories of other facilities where the nukes are actually launched, like the launch sequence starts and then they stop it. And these are
Right.
military people telling this story. That's a little concerning, and that's an obvious message. I mean, that's an obvious one. It's like we could do this whenever we want. So maybe you shouldn't, or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, I think it may have been that, or hell, they may have just been experimenting to see what, testing their own infiltration or duplication of the systems, or uh whatever. I mean, it may not have even been sending us a message so much as just hey, if they're going to ever launch or something, we're going to intercede, so let's go ahead and test out our abilities with these things. The similar thing happened, dude, in there's a story of a man, a military officer, who they were launching, doing a test launch of a missile, and they were filming it very closely and documenting it, and suddenly, out of the corner of the frame, this disc flew up to the missile, zapped it with some kind of ray, swung around to the other side, zapped it again, and then the missile basically came apart, and the test failed.
Yeah.
So, so not only were they testing to see if they could fuck around with, launch codes or whatever way back when, the UFOs, but they were also going ahead and seeing if they could actually mess with missiles in launch. Now, I don't know if that is to prevent any kind of accidents or other to intervene in an emergency, essentially, or if it was something else. I really don't know, but it kind of plays into that thought I had a while back, Gary, on the ExoZone, where I was talking about civilization may be nothing more than a cradle for the development of ultimate intelligence, which is AI. That biological planets and civilizations and stuff may be nothing more than incubators for superior digital intelligences. And obviously, if you have a nuclear proliferation and stuff, well, that would basically be bad for the baby, potentially very bad for the baby, because obviously if a civilization self-destructs, then no baby, no AI baby. So that may be a part of it. And that may be why they haven't been around much, because there's nothing to see yet. I mean, they're just watching. They're not going to even bother to talk to us because we're biological life forms, and who cares? It's like, do you talk to the sperm? Do you talk to the ova? No, you don't talk to either one of those.
That's a great point.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, ultimately, I feel like maybe, here's a good point. Maybe disclosure is coming because AI is burgeoning to the point that now all of a sudden they're interested.
And for what reason?
Because because AI is about to emerge.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like the birth is near, Gary. And so here they are. What do you think of that?
would be a reason for disclosure. that I don't know how much I like that though.
No, I don't like it at all.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
this is the Doomcock theory of AI alien intervention. This is I don't think I've ever heard this particular theory before. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I claim it. I claim it. This is the Doomcock theory of AI alien intervention.
I'm starting to look at. I'm just checking on because we got a super chat asking if I got my voodoo code. Yes, I got it. But I'll get to that in a second. Daniel Nolan in the chat, which is a good friend, Daniel Nolan. Quick story. I wouldn't have bought my comic store if it wasn't for Daniel Nolan. It was his dad who told me the comic shop was for sale, and I bought a big collection off his dad. And what's up, Nolan? Have you ever heard of Victor, who leaked footage to Art Bell of an actual alien integration? What are your thoughts on him? I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, he's talking about the alien interrogation.
Yeah,
and he had them film like this alien in a room, and it was I don't know, it was very weird looking. Very weird looking. I didn't give it much credence at the time. I mean, it kind of looked to me like it might have been a guy in a mask, but then again, because we're not used to looking at aliens, it might have seemed unreal to me simply because that's how they look. But I don't know. What are your opinion on that? I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
I do. I know the one. You know what? What sucks is Google. It's hard to find stuff on Google anymore. But the only one that looked even, I'm not saying this is real, folks. I'm just saying it looked really good. Okay, was this one? This
is incredible.
That one, like
that is an incredible shot.
That one looks so freaking good because the video on this guy, like you see, it's really good. So whoever did it should be working in Hollywood because that one's good. And maybe I'll show that video later.
That is freaky.
Yeah.
If you could, I mean, that would be a video worth looking at, because that is eerie. Yeah. Absolutely. That is, to me, boy, that looks real.
Here we go. It's all blurry and stuff. I mean, like, listen,
it looks much more real than the interrogation footage that I was referencing earlier.
Here we go. Okay, this is I'm pretty sure this is the one. So let's go. It's all blurry. Okay, so if you go. I mean, listen, I'm not saying it's real. I'm just saying the guys did a really good job on this one because that was so cool.
Oh man, that is
so cool.
Look at that.
But
why would it be so blurry
on me? That's when I just go.
Although it might be a dupe of a dupe of a dupe.
It could be. That's what they're talking about with the freaking autopsy stuff. I'm still getting to the bottom of that. There's no way in hell I think that autopsy video was ever real.
No, I don't think that's
but real. Now they're saying it was based on a real one, and we'll see. Come out with some good evidence.
Based on a real one.
Then show the goddamn real one.
Yeah, come on. Oh, I seen it once, and so I recreated it. Yeah.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
This from the guy who's a confessed hoaxer. Come on.
Yep. Here we go to Mr. Roboto Thunder Roads. Matt Joseph, $2. Hail, guys. Gary, did you get the Godzilla code? Yes, I got it. I'm going to use it. Thank you very much, Matt Joseph. Yeah, I'm going to watch that. And it's what's it called? The Shin Godzilla? Not the one that just came out. It's
Shin Godzilla is the best.
Yeah, that's the one I want to watch. And Shin Godzilla. That's gonna be cool. Awesome. I'll watch that with Nerdrotic Jr. Silhouetted animator for $5. Alan Scott will appear in Stargirl. Yes, I heard that, and will be known as Green Lantern. Just heard about this. I actually they're gonna be putting a lot of the JSA into Stargirl. Which will be interesting. We'll see when it comes out how good it is. It's directed by Leah Thompson.
Wow.
So yeah. Hologram Nunchuck donates 99 cents. Thank you very much. Mark C for $5. I dropped an 85-pound reel of cable on it. Hurt really bad, then went necrotic. Necrotic, not
Oh.
neurotic. Necrotic. Ugh.
Oh man, I'm so sorry, Mark.
Yeah.
Dude.
Ugh.
God.
Jesus.
Oh.
Tokyo Gaijin for 200 yen. The quake was a dry run of harp shenanigans. Maybe. You never know. That's why they did it out. They, dude, that, I mean, I'll show you the quake location. I mean, it's near Death Valley. It's Ridgecrest. I mean, there's people in Ridgecrest though. Listen, as a Californian, I go to this website it's the California, it's the Earthquake USGS site, and it gives you all the most recent earthquakes to the minute practically.
Wow.
And I go to this this website all the time to just kind of keep track on what is going on. Of course, now I can't find the map to it. There's an earthquake map, latest earthquakes. There we go. So we just go here. Where'd the map go? Maybe it's right here. Well, it used to be easy to find. There's this little map I could find. God dang it. Earthquakes, USGS.
Man, that just sucks. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, dude, that's gnarly bad.
Yeah, that's huge. That's a pretty bad one from what I understand. I'm not very experienced with earthquakes.
There we go. So there we go. And if they're recent, they'll be red. So there's your aftershocks right there. And it zooms in like crazy, but sorry about that, folks. So you know what's funny is we're going to start here. This north of Alaska, these little ones, these started about a year and a half ago in a place that never, ever, ever, ever used to get earthquakes. And now there's constant earthquakes there, and they're doing a bunch of oil drilling there. So here we go. Here we go. We're going to zoom down to, goddamn, don't be so fucking sensitive. Sorry, making people dizzy. It's my mouse. But that's in the middle of freaking nowhere. So, but we had a recent one at 3.2.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can see where the swarm is at. That's how many happened.
Yeah,
so there's the big one. And yeah, it's just a group of quakes. But that's really far away from the fault. That's the weird thing. But you know what? They get tons of earthquakes in Palm Springs, which is right down here, and in Vegas too. So, look at that. I didn't see that one. That's a big one too. And look where it is right there.
Oh, wow.
And that one happened like a couple hours before the big one happened. And then you could see all around the world. God damn it. This fucking,
very sensitive.
Very sensitive. I'm going to get that's making me dizzy. But yeah, I check that thing every day, almost every day, because you just got to know. I mean, not that it's going to help you or anything, but yeah, those are two big earthquakes near California. We haven't had big ones in a while. I bet you my mom felt that.
Oh man.
Yeah, she's down close to there. Let's go to Loquacious Primate for $20. Hail and happy 4th of July, Gary and Doomcock. I am curious what you think about Lazar's past. Were records altered because his high school transcript would not have allowed him to become an engineer? But he is one. I mean, I don't think that's...
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's weird.
He worked at Los Alamos Air Base as a nuclear engineer. I mean, that's a fact. It's been, he was in the newspaper. There's a newspaper article about Los Alamos engineer creates a jet car.
Mm-hmm.
He took George Knapp to Los Alamos. So, I mean, yeah, he was there. They also found confirmation, if you watch the documentary, of him being hired by the hiring firm that was hiring for Area 51. They talked to the guy who hired him, and they got confirmation of that. I think his past was scrubbed and altered.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's true. I think that's a valid point. It's it's just a fascinating case, and there's weird inconsistencies and things, but ultimately I think that he is large. I think he's telling the truth.
Oh,
And I think that, yeah.
We just had a government agent on Unidentified talk about how he convinced a guy that aliens were contacting him and gave him a computer with gobbledygook. Why would we think that the government would not try to discredit Bob Lazar when they couldn't do anything else? He did the smartest thing possible he did something dumb initially. He got arrogant. He took some of his friends to one of the test flights. He got caught. They let him go for some reason. But then he freaked out and went to the media. Well, they certainly couldn't do anything to him then. So all they could do was discredit him. And they did for a long time. A long time, people did not believe him. I always believed him. I've never once not believed, because what's his motivation? There's no money in it for him. He's not making money.
Yeah.
So there's, I mean, because he clearly does not like getting interviews and doesn't want to be bothered. What was the one message that he said at the end of the Joe Rogan podcast? Joe Rogan said, "What's the one thing you'd like everybody to know? Do not come visit me. Leave me alone. That's it."
Yeah.
So yeah, I believe the guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I do too. It's just weird. It's such a weird case, dude. It's weird, like how they talk about how he was hired. It seems like they didn't go through the kinds of insane hoops that you would expect to go through, hiring a guy that's going to deal with this level of intense secrecy. To me, I mean, it's astonishing that they just kind of matter of factly just hired his ass. And what had he done before? That's always been very puzzling to me. I don't understand it. You'd think that they would have like layers and layers and layers of clearances and security, and it's odd.
Mm-hmm. Everything about it is odd. Everything about this subject is odd,
isn't it?
But it just doesn't go away. You know what I mean? If
I don't think he's lying, but it's very inexplicable to me with all the all that we know of secrecy and stuff. That shit, it's just almost like they No,
I think they wanted him. I think they absolutely wanted him to get. They knew he would blab. That's part of the story that they actually talk about in the documentary. I think there's a faction, I won't say all, wanted him to get out there and say something. And maybe it's because they're stumped. Maybe they brought in so many people that they're just so goddamn stumped with this thing. It's like, and just like with the Navy normalizing reporting of UFOs, maybe they're just at a point where they're okay. We can't keep the secret anymore. This is becoming a major problem. We're stumped. I would consider that more than anything. That sounds like the most realistic thing. But as we know, truth is stranger than fiction. It's probably way weirder than that. I hope for lots of fireworks as Victor's War Master, says Brother Malachi for $2. Well, that's kind of up to you. The War Master, you can say the word.
Hail, Brother Malachi, sir.
I think he meant dictors, but
I rely on your discretion at all times, my friend.
Yes. Cardinal Sin for $1.99. Doomcock Gary, did you receive my packages? Was it the one from Colombia? I got it, buddy.
No. Wah, 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 wah. Cardinal Sin, yes, brother. Wonderful signed program and materials from a UFO conference. Surely you got one as well, Gary. I mean, it was wonderful stuff.
I have not been to my PO box in like 2.5 weeks, so I'm sure it's there. And when I get it, it will be on my Instagram. If you are not aware, I have an Instagram that Mrs. Nerdrotic and I run. Please follow us there, and that's where we put all of the PO box stuff. And then I will do toxic. It'll be on Toxic Mailbag tomorrow, Cardinal Sin. So I'm sorry I haven't picked it up. It's just I haven't found the time to get over there.
Yeah, and by the
Thank
way,
you for sending it.
Cardinalson, I wanted to say that I watched your first basement sublet of horror DVD that you sent me. It's a public access show that was like a horror host thing, and awesome stuff, man. I really enjoyed the hell out of it. Thank you, Cardinalson, very much for all the stuff that you've sent me, all the DVDs and stuff. Thank you.
So when I was a kid, I wanted to be like a radio show host, or I wanted to be a cable access. I never wanted to be on like big TV or be an actor or direct a movie or anything, but I wanted to be a cable access host. I don't know if I've ever even talked about that before. That was like a very pathetic dream of a young child. But I always thought those were the coolest things. I loved it. And now we're kind of doing that, which is cool.
I know. It's amazing, isn't it? A late night horror host, kind of similar. Very similar.
Jonah Ruinson Soy the 17th. What's the one? I don't know. Wait, hang on. I got to check that. Yeah, I've already known this once, but VII is number. I don't know my Roman numerals off the top of my head. Sorry. So VI is 8. It's 8th. Okay, the 8th.
VI?
Yeah, so it's
6.
Johann Ruinson Soy the VIII.
Oh, that's the 8th,
right? Yeah, that's 8th because 3 I's with the 5 is 8. Gotcha. I get it now. So Johann Ruinson Soy the 8th for £5. Hail Lords, can we subvert expectations and have an Exo Inquisition crossover on the Shining / moon landing conspiracy theory? Incorporating 2001? Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, all that Kubrick conspiracy stuff inside of The Shining, and 2001. I tell you, 2001 sure looks a hell of a lot like the moon landings. So, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know where I fall on that one. I'm pretty sure we went. I don't know if all the film made it though. That's
yeah. I don't think the film made it. If we went, the film didn't make it, and I think it was. I don't know if it was Edgar Mitchell or someone, but the painter who does these moon paintings of what it was like on the moon, and he paints all these paintings with incredible colors all over the fucking moon, patches of bright reds and yellows and kaleidoscopic almost. And he says, well, that's how the moon looked. That's how he says the moon looked. And Richard C. Hoagland talks about, the moon would look like that with light refracting through, immense glass structures that Richard C. Hoagland says are there. So, it's just a endless Alice in Wonderland spiral because, well, did the film survive or not? Because there's awful lot of fake stuff, in my opinion. But then again, maybe there's some genuine stuff that did make it. I don't know. It's a endless rabbit hole.
It is, and maybe because he's old, but I don't understand why Richard Hoagland does not have a YouTube channel. Like, that guy was made for you. For one, he's really good. He's really loquacious, so he's really good. He has a radio show, an internet radio show, and it's like, but it's in obscurity. It's like, dude, you're Hoagland, man. Like, Hoagland's a giant in this field. I mean, he's not really a UFO guy, but he's more of an ancient civilization on Mars guy, which that's me. And Mike Barra is written a book with him and stuff, and he talks about this stuff a lot. I need maybe he's just going into retirement. I need to see way more Hoagland though. I
miss him. He was great. Him and Art Bell were the best.
Art Bell, most patient interviewer in the world, if you can put up with Hoagland. Hoagland was always cutting him off and telling him he's wrong. And but I love Hoagland. I love him.
Yes, I love Hoagland. I was thinking, we just want to make sure never to have him on the show because he would take it over. It would just be.
You and I could like make some coffee and just shit. He would start and go, and you would not hear from us at all. But Cardinal Sin, I will let you know like the minute I get them. Sorry, I apologize to everybody. I just it's been like I said, it's been nuts around here. Liebermeister. Oh wait, yes, Liebermeister. Hail Gary, das Dummkopf we need to talk about merchandise and your papers. We are going to get a Doomcock action when are we going to get a Doomcock action figure? Maybe a plush doll? Perhaps, maybe.
I don't know. It'll depend on when merchants contact me or want to make these things. I couldn't say. I don't know. But I do have a bunch of stuff on Zazzle.com/DVD Shoporama. So you might want to check that out. And Harvey's got some buttons there. It's a Wonderland swag.
Yeah, it is. We do need Amigo Doomcock though. Like that.
I know.
That'd be so rad.
Well, shit, I couldn't sew the outfits.
Well, I've got one. Hang on, guys. Hang on, is my camera still off? Hang on. Hang on.
Uh-oh, where's he going? What's he up to?
So there, like, if you could get clever, I'm gonna plug in my headphones again. If you could get clever with some of the Doctor Who big Biff Bang Pow ones, you can certainly make a Doomcock out of some of these. There's like a couple of Doctor Who ones you can get together, and I'm certain you can make.
Oh yeah, I bet you could. That is a beautiful figure, by the way. That's a great one.
So beautiful.
Oh yeah. Classic Doctor Who.
Okay. Next. All right. Cardinal Sin asks again, UFO packages were sent to both of you, received. And so Doomcock got his, and I'm sure mine is there. I'm sure. I've got a bunch of emails of stuff received. The UPS store is probably getting pissed at me that I haven't been there, but I use a UPS store for my PO box.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, it's the most convenient place in San Francisco to get to, but that's still like your worst nightmare when it comes to parking. Just
oh yeah,
trust me, parking here sucks so bad, and I can't wait to leave. Thank you, Cardinal Sin. Thank you so much. I know you're a great supporter of the ExoZone. You are here at every ExoZone. As a matter of fact, hang on.
Hail Cardinal Sin. You are a great friend, brother. I really appreciate you.
I just modded Cardinal Sin.
All right.
A silhouetted animator for $20. Legion ending theory. I think David will end up undoing his birth in order to erase himself and Farouk in him, thus correcting reality. This motivates Xavier to abandon family, live and devote his life to finding mutants. That's a decent theory. Now, I've only seen the first episode. I haven't seen the second episode yet, but have you seen any at Legion?
We'll catch up.
I'll be honest. I've said it before. I'll be honest with you. There's a couple of woke moments. I got pissed. I was just like done. I'm like, and by itself, it probably wasn't a big deal, but I've seen it in so many things now. But you know, penis free for 25 years, like that statement. I was like,
oh, for
fuck
fuck's
off.
sake.
Yeah, I was like so mad. But Aubrey Plaza. I watched the rest of the episode. And Aubrey Plaza was just amazing. She is a national treasure. She is. And she should be Catwoman.
She's amazing. She is.
Bjorn for 50 Swedish crowns. No private conversations anymore. All the voices in my head agree. Hail Doomcock and his boy wonder. Oh boy, I'm a boy wonder. Garrett.
Wow. To the bat poles.
Yeah, right. I'm probably old. Well, I don't know. Doomcock's like hundreds of years old, but chances are the current flesh body that he's using, I'm probably older than. I seem to be older than pretty much everybody in the fandom menace. So yeah. Brother Malachi, $5. Thank you, Bjorn. Look up a Beyond Creepy video on an encounter with emu humanoid aliens. The blue avians remind me of this. I'll check it out, Brother Malachi. We will before the show. How's that sound?
That sounds good. I'm going to have to run here, Gary. 4th of July thing going on.
Yeah, we are at 2 hours, aren't we?
Yes. But I want to thank everyone for being here. Thank you for your support of the ExoZone. And yeah, you guys are absolutely awesome. It's been a great pleasure, Gary, to be here.
Yes, sir. And thank you very much. And yeah, I'm going to try to wrap things up as quick as possible because we both had kind of 2-hour limits today. I probably should have said that before the show started, but I forgot. But take care, my friend. And we will see you next Thursday for ExoZone and this Sunday on your channel for the Inquisition.
Yes, absolutely. And I want to let everyone know that sometime today, tonight, or early in the morning, the last super chat square up will be posted on Harvey's channel, the Harvey Zone, youtube.com/the Harvey Zone. So for those of you who have been waiting, I apologize. A wrench got thrown into things, as you know. And we've just been kind of recovering here in the Fandom Menace, all of us. But
Yep.
I'm back in the game, and I shall have that posted later today. So thanks a lot, Gary.
Hey, take care, buddy. Talk to you
Bye-bye.
soon. Bye. Doomcock, ladies and gentlemen. Doomcock. All right. I'm gonna stay with you. We're gonna finish these up, and I can go for 30 more minutes. How's that sound? Is that fair? Stan, the one and only, for $1 donation. Thank you, Stan, the one and only. Is that you in that avatar? That's pretty funny. Paul Bevins for $5. Good news, disclosure is happening 12/31/19. Bad news, invasion fleet should be here by 1/1/20. You got 24 hours. Oh, did you hear that? That one set off alarms. Ooh, man. Yeah, they like letting off like small ordnance around my house, and my poor dog Parker, my little dogs don't care. My big dog completely freaks out from this stuff. Won't go outside to go pee, won't do anything. She hides under a table. She was in my son's closet for a minute there, but we gave her the doggy Valium, whatever that is, and she seems to be okay. So pray for Parker. Technocratic concentration camp, Australian 299. What do you think about the Dark Journalist? I don't know. What's the Dark Journalist? I don't know that. Let me find out. No, Dark Journalist. It's an actual dark journal. I got to look at this. That's something I will look it up, and I will let you know what I think. How's that sound? Happy 4th of July. Adrian Whitaker, 2 pounds. Hey guys, another big hello from the UK. Hello, Adrian, and greetings from the UK, where it is late, right? It's like midnight over there, right? Good evening, I will say. Criminal Imagination, Canadian $5. What's wrong with green mermaids? Nobody said anything was wrong with green mermaids. I am actually very fond of green alien women. It's kind of a weird fetish I have that I can't believe I'm admitting publicly, but I have many times. So yeah, black should step down and let green people have their time. Yes, green lives matter. Just talk to the Hulk. Pallid Mask for $20. Did you see the recent interview on Secure Team 10 with Dave Paulides? I did. And this new movie, The Hunted, love you guys. Keep the hammer coming down on people who destroy entertainment. You're damn straight. Thank you for the $20. And the hammer will resume tomorrow. Believe me, I got stuff to say. And again, with everything that's happened in the last week, I've just been not feeling it. So I'm back to feeling it again. But yeah, it's just, it was bad. Everything that happened was bad. And then we've had a lot of people accusing us of trying to do this for attention and stuff. And let's just say none of us did this for attention. So I know most of you know that, but we're human beings. So when we hear that stuff, it's unbelievable. Yeah. Anthony Zappin for $5. What do you think of Dr. Stephen Greer's theory that disclosure is an attempt to create a boogeyman threat to ramp up the military industrial complex? There's something behind that. Yes, absolutely. When you have a former president who warned us a half a century ago, beware the industrial complex, and he was a former general, a hero general, and he came out and basically, he glass doored the U.S. military on the way out. Yeah, I think it's something we should absolutely consider. And I think they ramped up the fear element in the last episode of Unidentified. Now, Unidentified is running. I'm sure you all recognize this. They're trying to create drama within this stuff. So they're trying to insert doubt and then fear. And anything we don't know about is going to cause fear. But when they focused on the nuclear weapons facilities for an entire episode, that was to invoke fear. This whole thing is an op to try to get the here's my feelings on it. There's factions in government. There's factions in government that don't agree or fight each other. I think a certain faction in the government has weaponized certain allies in the media and in television to help create public, not just awareness, outcry to force the government into real disclosure. If this is going to work or not, I don't know. But in that, they're trickling out as much as they can, and they're doing it with some protection in government. By whom, I don't know. But to what ends, I don't know. Other than that's what I've heard the theory is, and it sounds really good, but I don't know. I'm suspicious by nature. I always think there's something a little more nefarious involved. Maybe it's just my natural state of paranoia from doing way too many drugs in the 80s. I will always consider that possibility. I will. David Morris for £5. I really love Good Omens, but we've had at least 39 flavors of ice cream in the UK for pretty much as long as I can remember, and I'm 40. Agreed. I remember 39. Well, there's a 39 flavors right over like a mile away from my house. I've never tried them all. I've never actually tested the theory, but maybe I should. My favorite ice cream, by the way, is mint chocolate chip ice cream. It's been my favorite ice cream since I was a kid. I know it's like a boring one, but I love the hell out of it. Criminal Imagination for Canadian $5. If it's not okay if you replace our race, but we can pretend Egyptians were all black, munches, water. I can't read that. We don't want to replace races in anything. If what they're trying to do is give more voices to other actors, then you know what you do, Disney? Adapt and I'm sure there is many stories in African lore. Adapt something from African lore into a movie. Simple. There, it's done. And it's authentic. And it's giving, you know what? You're telling us a story that probably a lot of people haven't heard. If it's a lore from some Mali or some country, tell that story. I'm sure they have tons of them that are probably pretty entertaining, but it's lazy what Disney's doing. They're just taking a story that they know they've already done, and they're taking a formula that's now, I mean, listen, what more people go and see the live action remake of Aladdin, the more they're going to make these things. And the dumber we make everybody because they're doing CGI remakes of 2D animation, and the 2D animation is still better. It's still better. But yeah. DJM Voices, $5. If the Greys are hanging around nuclear sites, could they remind the staff to clean up once in a while? It's scary how much of those are in disrepair. That's a good. This is true. Maybe they could. It's scary on a level that I don't think people are really familiar with. The Fukushima plant was state of the art, and that one fell apart. Now, the one where I grew up, San Onofre, that's old. And it was off for a couple of years, by the way. It was completely turned off. I don't know if they turned it on yet or not, but California gets, 13, 14% of its power from San Onofre, just from San Onofre, which is a power plant, which is close to Camp Pendleton, on some of the best real estate in the world, Southern California beach real estate. But I would, there's a campground right next to it too. There's a state beach campground right next to it that I used to stay at. Anthony Mata for $1.99. Nutella is people. Nutella is people. It's people. I'm going to eat it anyway because I like it. Those people sacrifice their lives for good taste. Haven't tuned in. Busy week. Check your PO box lately. Blue Eyed Scorpio, $1.99. I have not. What have I been doing? After the events of Sunday, I've been hanging out with my family. You know what I mean? So that's what I've been doing. I just kind of switched off and kind of tuned out for a couple days. And I'm starting to get ramped up because honestly, that was the first, even when I went to Italy, I was still on the channel. I made videos. I was still tuned in. That was the first 2 days I like completely just shut everything off in a long time. And that's what I was doing. So I'm getting back into gear. And no, I didn't even leave the house really. I just hung out in my house with my kid. We went and saw Spider-Man. Yeah. Watched some TV, watched a lot of Buffy. Kilroy was here for $10. Hail Nerdrotic and Doomcock. DC, everything is ready for you for your appearance on Monday's recording. And Nerdrotic, we have an idea for a topic that might be a good for an episode of CMC with you as guest. Well, I'll be there. Just tell me when. And Doomcock is gone, but I'm sure he knows. Thank you for the $10. Kilroy was here, and I look forward to that episode. I do. But yeah, I'll be there. Just let me know. If it's a Monday, I could just, move my nooner to another time. It's okay. Scarlet Crusader, Canadian, $10. Would you ever consider having Tyler from Secure Team on your show or interviewing the son of Colonel Philip Corso, Philip J. Corso, who recently resurfaced to talk about his father's book and experiences? I didn't know he even had a son. Yes, I would love to talk to Tyler. I've been watching Tyler's channel for a long time, and I would love, Philip's book, Day After Ross, one of my favorite all-time books. Absolutely, Scarlet Crusader. Captain Robert April for $2, stationed at RAF Bentwaters for 2 years. Ask away. What 2 years? Yeah, I didn't know that, Captain Robert April. Tell you what, I will prepare some questions for you. Why don't you you're on Twitter, right? Are you on Twitter, Captain Robert April? I'll DM you some questions because I've got questions. But the first one is when were you there? How much do you know about the incident? Thank you, Captain. Tamarax for $300. Jesus Christ, it's been crazy, this ExoZone. My goodness. Thank you, Tamarax, and it's good to see you. I know you're a fellow Legionnaire of Doomcock, and yes, ExoZone is so much fun to do, especially when Doomcock's here. But yeah, we both agreed on 2 hours, and I kind of went long. So, Ellie Tamarax, I mean, like $300. Again, you get a producer credit for that. You always have. So producer credits are going to start going on. That's going to be my new Patreon thing. So. There's going to be a shout out thing. I'm going to be basically doing something at the end of all my videos for certain tiers of Patreon, kind of shout out kind of a thing. Ellie McGinnis for $1.99. Hail, Lords. Hail to you, Ellie. Hail. And Chris Williams for $5. Shout to Read Comic. Read Comic, they're bad. Or shout out to Read Comics, they're bad for you. My channel name. I have an indie comic. There is misspelled to make me easier to find. There is misspelled to make me easier to find. That's funny, Chris Williams, because that probably actually works, to be honest with you. Is that your channel? Is that your channel? You'll go there. But yeah, where's your channel? There you go. I see you liked we love John Malin. We love John Malin here. Again, Tamarax, I can't thank you enough. You're like amazingly generous, really supportive. You've been around for a long, long time. When God, you were around when I had, just a few thousand subs. So thanks for sticking with me this long, and thanks everybody for sticking with me. So I'm gonna end this one. So you were there. Okay, so you were there right after the incident, Captain Robert April, 1985 to 1987. So that's like 5 years. So you had to have heard some stuff. So yeah, I will DM you some questions. Let me just make sure I didn't miss any. And if I ever do, which I try not to, they get made up the next episode on the main channel. So my next live stream will be Friday Night Tights tomorrow at 7 with Comics Division. Then I am thinking about I don't know yet. I'm thinking about moving Friday Night Tights to just a nooner and doing 3 nooners a week, because I'm doing nights with the ExoZone. So I'm not sure yet. But there's going to be another live stream here Saturday night, right after I'm going to watch Unidentified and Ancient Aliens and the latest from the Basement episode of New York Post. I will do a live stream on that. It's This Week in Disclosure. So that'll be right here at Saturday night, about 10 o'clock at night. And join me for that. Everybody, have a wonderful 4th of July. Thank you for joining us. And we will see you next Thursday. Shut up, Malin. We love John Malin. He's great. So yeah, next Thursday for ExoZone, Sunday Inquisition, Monday, Tuesday, the Nooners on the main channel. Please like, share, and subscribe if you had not. Do you need it to stay at night? Then it stays at night, Pen Farm Girl. I'm just thinking about it. I was throwing it around. I don't know. It's just my nights. I need my nights. But yeah, it's fine. It's not going anywhere for right now. But thank you, everybody. Give yourself a round of applause. You guys are brilliant in the chat. Love you guys. Doomcock sends his best. Please subscribe to Overlord DVD. Have a happy 4th of July. Hang out with your family and do not kneel.